From sunrise to sunset, recycling is more than a job. It's a way of life. Early mornings, late nights, hard work that turns the old into something new. Recyclers power the economy, and ReMatter is built to power you. Making those long days easier with smarter tools like scale ticketing, payments, dispatch, and everything in between. We bring it all together so you can focus on what matters most, growing your business and serving your community. Driven by the spirit of recyclers everywhere. ReMatter. Built for recycling. Built for you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. What an honor to kick off ReMA and especially put safety first. So thank you, Colin and ReMA for having me on. My name is Brian Maeck. I'm the Global Head of Environment, Health, and Safety for Sims Limited. But before I was that guy, I was, the next slide, I was this guy way back when, completely oblivious to what hazard and risk really meant in a work environment. And by the way, going from broadcast journalist to hard rock miner is a perfectly normal job transition in Canada. So yeah, I was that guy, and I really didn't have a clear understanding of what it was to be safe underground. And I think a lot of the times that's the difficulty. How do you transition that safety message when at the beginning of your shift you're told, have a safe day, be safe, put safety first. How does that translate into the job that's in front of you, the job tasks that are in front of you? So, tell you a little bit of a story, and I'm honored not just to present today and talk about a safety share, but my safety share. I was the case study. I came in, again, oblivious of the risks associated to the underground environment. 6,000 feet underground, where I called my office every day. I got to learn the business from the ground up. And I put my hand up for everything. I was young and ambitious, and I wanted to learn. So it didn't matter what the job was, I put my hand up for it. And this one day, about 2 years after starting, I was signed off as an underground driller, and they put me on this beauty right here, the Meter Eater. And I was drilling really good shifts on this piece of equipment. It was all pneumatic, it was loud. But the only light underground was on my hard hat, and the work was always in front of you. The risk was always in front of you. And this one day, I saw my supervisor walking down what we called the underground drift. It was just a giant dark tunnel, and you could see your supervisor coming towards you. You saw this little light bouncing back and forth, and you'd look at your watch, and you'd think, okay, you've got a good 30 minutes, 40 minutes before he actually gets to your rig. Maybe I'll give it a nice little paint job, clean up around you. But I was drilling so well that day. We were drilling in what we used to call drilling in a snowbank up in Canada. The rock was really soft, and I was drilling a great shift, so I didn't want to stop for anybody. And eventually my supervisor came down the drift, and he leaned on the rock wall, and within 5 minutes, he gave me the old shut it down signal. And I was just shaking my head. I'm like, you're killing me here. Like, I'm drilling really, really well today. And to me, that was the most important thing. I wanted to be the best at what I did, right? We talk a lot in safety about what's motivating employees, but what was motivating me at that time was being the best at what I did, looking towards that path and that future towards me. And I was motivated to make my supervisor happy. So when he gave me the old shutter down signal, I was actually thinking he was going to tell me, you know what, this is a fantastic job. Your work process is fluid, you're really sailing. And he didn't say that. He, in fact, started listing out all the unsafe acts he saw me do. At first, I thought he was joking. And I remember saying, Mark, I mean, this is what everybody's doing underground. Everybody's drilling this way. I mean, you put me in training with guys with 30 years experience, and these are the tricks of the trade. This is what we do down here. And he said, if that's true, we're in a lot of trouble. And he eventually left, and I kept drilling, and I thought, you know what? This is all I know how to do. He's telling me to do something different, and I don't fully understand how I need to change that process to be safer. The next day I came to work, and I was in the same conditions, the same work environment. Actually, I'll get you to go back. I was in the same work environment, and I put my hand on this thing right here. It's called the jack wheel. It's on the very back end. And these were all little parts, little tricks of the job that I was doing. I would throw the drill in neutral, and I'd put my hand on that jack wheel, and I'd give it a little bit of pneumatic air. And that would scrape maybe 26 seconds off of my drill run because I was really motivated on how quickly I could produce for the betterment of the company. And the screw feed came back down, but one of the things Mark also said was I wasn't rotating out my drill rod, so eventually it could get caught on that drill chuck. And it did, and it spun the entire rotation while my hand was on it. And because I was using a wrench under power, I had all these metal burrs around that jack wheel, and it caught my coveralls and my gloves like Velcro. Ripped and pulled me right over on top of the drill. My hard hat with my only source of light went flying. And here I was in pitch darkness, getting pulled in, my coveralls wrapped around that rotation, and I couldn't fight it. And I was slowly getting pulled in. I was yelling for help, but I was alone. The drill was screaming back at me at about 120 decibels. So even if somebody was there, they wouldn't have been able to hear me. So I had a couple thoughts. I thought I was going to be one of those statistics. I had one of those moments of clarity. I remember reading those fatality safety alerts that we received saying that somebody else had gotten caught in a rotation, and tomorrow it would read something similar, that underground driller got caught in rotation and was killed. Keep a safe distance from rotating equipment. And that would have been the end of my story. But it just so happens the reason why I'm here today, the reason why I'm telling you this story with all 5 fingers and 5 toes in my arm is because my driller assistant came back from his lunch break because he forgot his sandwich. The only reason why I'm here is because my partner was hungry. And he came over and he shut the drill down. He still couldn't see me. He didn't know why the drill was turning and I wasn't there. But eventually he looked at me and I was completely caught up. My coveralls had ripped off my body, covered up around my arm, pulled me in, and I was dangling. And I was so caught up, he had to cut my coveralls off of my arm, my shoulder, and rip my coveralls off me. And eventually, because of the adrenaline of me pushing against that drill so hard, I just went unconscious. And I woke up at the shaft station. He had literally dragged my body, put it on the back of a train car, and drove to the shaft station. And that's where I woke up, wearing my underwear, 6,000 feet underground, trying to figure out what happened. And so I came back to that drill site with new eyes. It was the first time I ever respected heavy equipment. It was the first time I ever understood what hazards were before me and what risks they posed. And it changed my life. Everything I ever did after that was looking for risk and trying to find a way to reduce that risk from becoming a fatality. And I've been doing that for the last decade. And so my message now, we'll move to the next slide. No matter what job we have, what job task we have, we really need a commitment to innovate. If you're not driving change, well, then you can expect the same outcomes, right? And over the years, I saw those change come in many forms, in the forms of guarding. And I'll tell you, around 2014, 2015, when we had all-encompassing guarding systems, and when you lifted up the guard, the rotation would stop, and all these really fancy electric hydraulic systems, we stopped having finger injuries. We stopped having hand injuries. Nobody got caught up in rotations anymore. And I left that organization with the best safety rating in 100 years. right? No more lost time injuries, especially nothing to do with a rotation. So that's the message I would give anybody, especially when you're looking at your safety program. What are we going to have to change to reduce a specific risk? And be tactical and methodical, and don't stop and don't deviate off that path until you've reduced that risk to an acceptable level, and these types of things never happen again. So again, that's my story. Thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate it, and have a great conference. Thank you.